Okay, hello everybody. This is me, Alexander, checking in. So I was just taking a nap because I'm doing this hospital internship and it goes like from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. sometimes, and I'm just always so tired. But anyways, yeah, I just took a little nap. Then all of a sudden, I get this mail saying, "Oh, your DNA reports are ready." What? I've always been interested in this sort of thing, so I got this like DNA test from 23andMe just to like see what it's about. And okay, I know that DNA tests like these aren't 100% accurate and also can't dictate who you are and what you're supposed to do with your life, but I do think they can be a good little pointer sometimes, statistically speaking. But I don't know, I just thought it was super interesting because I've always wanted to know these things about like, you know, that's literally inside of me, like in my saliva, in my eyeballs, everywhere. It just feels interesting because it's an integral part of yourself. I personally was so interested, like after I ordered this, like it was on a whim, like, oh, I have vacation, so I have time, I'm just gonna order it. I binge watched a bunch of videos, like people reacting to their own results, and so like here I am making my own. And one of the most interesting parts for me is also the ancestry. It gives you percentages, and here's my estimate of what I might get. So I'm guessing at least 50% will be European. And I'm not saying German because there might be like, I don't know, a little Nordic, a little East European, a little West, a little South. From my mom's side, I know the Dominican nationality comprises ethnicities like also European because Spanish colonization and stuff, and also indigenous American people, specifically the Tainos and Arawak. Also obviously black people from the whole slave trade thing going on in the Caribbean. I think those are the three main sources. And we'll see how much I got from that. I have the email open here. So without further ado, let's do this. I'm not sure if I should do this. I'm kind of excited, kind of sleepy still, but okay, here we go. Okay, it's asking me to sign in. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, I'm just kind of confused because I thought there's gonna be like a big button like, here is your information. But okay, I think I have to do it. I have to press on it myself. Okay, so okay, then here, ancestry report. I'm going on the quick links. Boom. Okay, so this is what I was expecting. Here it is. And then you have the whole map, like where everything's from. Okay, so 73.2% European and mostly Northwestern European, which makes sense because Germany's right there. Most of this is from French and German. Netherlands, a highly likely match. I'm not sure about that. I don't know of any ancestors in my family that are Dutch. I don't know, maybe a possibility. Because here, Germany, Lower Saxon, that's where I know my German family is from. That's very cool that they could get it so precisely. It's a likely match, but the Netherlands is a more likely match from South Holland. Okay, I'll have to look that up actually, because I don't know. Some of my German relatives, they speak like this Low German dialect, or my dad also says it's like a Frisian dialect, and I'm guessing that's like more in this area, right? And Low German is like a broader, like more German thing. At least that's as far as I understand. This is the bulk of the European. This is what I was expecting, okay? And Scandinavian, okay, that makes sense, cause obviously, I mean, Germany's right here, and boom, Scandinavia. I mean, come on. Broadly Northwestern European, okay. Yeah, okay, something of everything. Right, okay, I mean, same area. Okay, Southern European, this is also what I was expecting, cause Dominican, Spanish, here we go, Southern European, very cool, 9.7%. I'm guessing it's less from this area, but this makes a lot of sense. Spain, boom. Canary Islands, okay. Oh, they have like little bubbles, okay. Canary Islands? That's very funny, because like, I don't know the exact historical stuff, like if there were big trips from the Canary Islands to the Caribbean, but you know, there was a bunch of everything back then. plus Guarda and Viseu. I don't know that much about. What is this? This is Portugal? What? Okay, I was expecting mainly just Spain, but okay, okay, Portugal and southwestern Galicia. This is Spain again. This makes sense. Okay, this is more than 50%, so I'm guessing there might have been some 50% definitely from my dad, and then maybe a bit from my mom too. Okay, I mean, it's not far away from Spain, so you learn something new every day. And this is the African part, I guess. 16.6% Sub-Saharan African and 9.5% is West African, which makes sense, right? Because it's the closest you can get. Boom, boom, boom. Caribbean. There we go. And the biggest part is Senegambian and Ghanaian. Yeah, makes sense. This is funny because like when me and my dad were talking about this, he was like, yeah, I'm guessing you have a big amount from Senegal because it's like it's on the coast, right? So you have the direct passage. Liberian, Sierra Leonean, Nigerian, as I said, and broadly West African. So like boom, boom, boom. And then also Southern East African. All right, 6.3%. Okay, I wonder how that works historically. So there's Congolese and Southern East African. Congo, yeah, probably looked different back in the day, right? Angolan and Congolese. Okay, here we have the coast again. Congo and Mbundu peoples. Ah, okay. The Southern East African, it's adjacent. Northern East African is more like over here. This, I'm not sure. Okay, this is also a tiny percent. Yeah, probably not that influential then. Sudanese. And then we have 5.7% Indigenous American. As I was saying, Taino. Okay, so, and then, okay, this is like very big, but it's pretty clear that if we're talking about the Dominican Republic, like here, then it has to be the Taino, and maybe less so like, you know, the tribes from here, like, and a little bit of Western Asian, North African. Okay, so we have the Middle East and Arabic speaking African. Also plausible because it's like also adjacent. I mean, just as every other part was. And what else was there? Broadly everything here. Okay, so that's very cool. And also, I'm not surprised I do not have East Asian ancestry, because, like, why should I if my mom is Dominican and my dad is German? Okay, there's Southern Indian. I mean, it's also possible it's just a coincidence, because, like, I'm not sure how to integrate this in the rest. But you never know. There's always, like, some random things, everything's possible. Unassigned, tiny percent. But okay, this is also really small. Okay, and it says recent ancestries. They already got this correct. Dominican Republic. This is definitely accurate because I know that my family is more from this area, so I'm surprised why it's lighter. But I mean, this is only like the recent couple of generations, and maybe like the bulk of like the centuries and centuries, like way back when. It's more over here, Santiago. Okay, I'll have to see about that because I would have expected it more over here. That's very cool. That's very, very cool. Yeah, okay, that's all they could find, I guess, for the recent. And here, okay. Yeah, I'm also not surprised that this didn't show up because I've also just been having a hard time finding ancestral records in Germany because I'm guessing the privacy laws are just stricter than in the Dominican Republic. But, you know, maybe I can go to like private records and see how that is. As I said, I'm very surprised that the Netherlands is a higher likely match than Germany. But then again, we're based in northwestern Germany, so I mean it's right there. So it can't be that far-fetched. Okay, that was really cool. Ancestral timeline. This is interesting to me because it can like give you dates when what happened. Okay, so French and German. Most likely had a parent, grandparent, and great-grandparent who's 100% French and German. Okay, so these are also like statistical guesses. This is As far as I know, this is true. And then going way back, okay, this is what I don't know that much about. Okay. 100% Nigerian, 100% Scandinavian, 100% Senegambian, Ghanaian. Alright. And that's pretty recent, like, given everything. Okay. Yeah, I'm only this far with the family tree, like barely, and this is just super hard to get into. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's really this diverse going out, because it's also just a huge amount of so many people. And it's really cool because you realize, oh, like so many people contributed to your DNA today, like hundreds and hundreds of ancestors. It's crazy. Am I Neanderthal? Okay, I have more than 4%. That's not a lot. I have less than 2%. I'm not very Neanderthal. I'm sorry, guys. This is not allowed with Neanderthal. But I have 171 variants out of 7,000. It's not that much. Being less likely to have a fear of heights. Is that Neanderthal? They weren't scared of heights? Okay, definitely I do get a little like, whoa, when I'm like all the way up and imagine like falling all the way down. I don't get sweaty palms or something, like it's okay. It's just like the general like, you know, don't jump off. Less likely to prefer salty. I do like very sweet. I do like, yes, that's true. Less likely to have a chin dimple. I don't see one, yeah. Okay, this goes into the traits. Maternal haplogroup. My maternal haplogroup is H2A51, A, so L, everyone has L. Let's go from the bottom. This is rare. There. Luke the Evangelist. Okay, so this is the guy that wrote the Luke Gospel. I read this because this was in literature humanities. Oh my god, I'm related to this guy maybe. Oh no. Maybe I should write my own Bible section. Paternal haplogroup. Oh god, who is this? Or is Z27230? Okay, paternal line. Boom, 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 boom. King Louis? No, not him. No, that's not the guy from like 6, right? I forgot all these names. That's very interesting. Okay, the rule of France. Okay, this is not the English guy. Okay, sorry, I don't know my history. King Louis, that's interesting. King Louis the 16th. Let's see the highlights, I guess. Okay, so age-related macular degeneration. What is this? Macular degeneration. Vision loss. Okay. Interesting. One variant. They don't test every single variant for every disease. So this doesn't give you the full risk, but gives you some of it, I guess. Right, this is what I was saying, not all possible variants. European descent, okay. To the next one, ADHD. I didn't know that was in there. Okay, I didn't know they did ADHD. But okay. I didn't know it was genetic either. That's not a lot. Hispanic, Latino. And as far as I know, I don't think I have relatives with ADHD. But also there's more to know about this. This isn't the full picture. I don't think I haven't been diagnosed with it, so I mean it's interesting anyways though. Fibromyalgia, Alzheimer's. I know I have a relative with Alzheimer's, so this makes sense. Restless legs. Skin cancer. Have to watch out for that. Put the sunscreen on. Carrier status. What am I carrying? So, okay, not carrying anything. At least, not in the way they measured it. Okay, not very eventful, but it's probably better that way. Wellness. Okay, this is also just kind of funny stuff, like cat allergy. I don't have a cat allergy. I don't consume that much coffee, alcohol, flush, deep sleep. I don't know, like middle. Dog allergy, nope. Genetic weight. Yeah, I guess so. Lactose tolerance. Yeah, I'm tolerant. Muscle composition. Okay, I guess I did okay I did pretty good in sports class, but I'm also not. I don't go to the gym every day. Nearsightedness. Yes, I'm nearsighted. My glasses are somewhere over here. Saturated fat and weight. Seasonal allergies. Don't have any. Sleep movement. Yeah, I guess. Okay, that's cool. Traits. Okay, so this is more of the eccentric stuff. I don't have back hair. Doesn't look like I have a bald spot, cheek dimples. Nope. So this is like pretty accurate. I've had dandruff. No collection, earlobe type. This is detached. Yes. Eye color, dark brown. Yeah. Earwax, I'm not gonna show you, but yeah, that's true. Early hair loss. Okay, I get to keep my hair. Finger length. This is funny because you should check on your own, but this is weird. So this is my index finger, this is my ring finger. And yes, my ring finger is longer on both hands. But that's different from person to person. I didn't know that. Freckles, no freckles. Hair, no. Wavy, slightly wavy? I don't know if this is slightly. Yeah, I would say it's more curly. Dark brown hair, newborn. Yeah, I think I did. I recently saw a baby picture of me. Okay. No red hair, skin pigmentation. Yeah, I would say so too. Light beige, moderate leaf. No. Or like olive, I guess. It's something like this. Stretch marks, I do have stretch marks. Toe length, I do have a longer second toe. I know this by heart. Unibrow, yeah, you can see barely. No widow's peak. It's when your hair goes like a spiky thing in the middle. Okay, that was that. And then taste and smell. I don't know if I can smell asparagus. I haven't really tested that. Bitter, yes. Cilantro. Yeah, whenever I have cilantro, it's very bitter, but I just eat it anyways because I know it's probably good for you. I like both of these. Prefer salty? I don't know. I like my fair share of sweets. Bunions don't have a. I can match a musical pitch. I can do that. Fear of heights. Yeah, I'm not terrified. Public speaking. I like speaking. Flat feet. Nope. Hair thickness. I'm not really sure if this is thick. I don't know what thick looks like. Yeah, chewing sounds. I don't mind. Mosquito bite. Not that often. Definitely sometimes. Motion sickness. It depends. Sometimes I get car sick. Photic sneeze. No. Wake up. Not true. Not true. I can wake up very late if I try. And even if I don't try. Blood and biomarkers. This is what you have to put in yourself. But yeah, okay, this was very interesting. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did because that was just like, damn, it's a lot of cool information. And yeah, I will definitely read into it a little more as I can, but yeah, hope you enjoyed this little journey with me. And yeah, if there's anything else I can probably show this, but yeah, that was the bulk of it. So yeah, then I'll see you later. Now that you know a little more about me. All right, bye-bye.